season, which is agility. So what you need to do in this season in particular is go as hard as you can until you can't go 100% anymore, and then shut it down until you can go 100% again. So I would, all of us coaches would much rather you be doing nothing, resting, and then going 100% through a ladder or through a box jump or whatever the case might be, and then rest again. Walk on the way back versus jogging on the way back and then going 50% through the ladder. Go 100% as fast as you can through the ladder, walk back. That's where you're going to get that rest in, and then you can work on your speed and your footwork and all that kind of stuff as fast as you can do it versus the endurance-based cardio that is a slower pace.
Born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes. Welcome, athletes, into the gym closet for another episode. We have season recap.
Oh, I thought you were going to introduce us.
Oh, okay.
As always.
Yeah.
As
Amber.
always.
Because I was going to raise the roof. I was waiting
All
for
right.
it.
I'm here, as always, with Amber Robinson.
Now I don't know what to do. Now you made
No,
that
you
really
didn't do it. No, you didn't even do it.
Yeah, you should have raised the roof. What the hell?
I already did.
Okay, good. We're here with Zach,
Hi.
as well as Dan.
What's up?
Sorry,
All right, now we
I didn't
can
have
get
as much.
started.
I didn't have the energy after I put it all into
That's
introducing
okay.
Amber.
You always do everything on these, so we got to feel like we have a little bit of part in this.
That's true.
So we got to, say
Well,
hey to everyone.
I like
I'm
it.
just kidding.
So say hey.
What's what's happened since we've last done a podcast? Anything?
The season has switched.
season
The new
switched.
year, the holidays. So we
Lot
were
of
into.
stuff.
So
Lot of
our last podcast was about our Christmas traditions and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So then, so it's been, we took about
Couple
a week
weeks.
off, couple weeks off, yeah. But we took a week off where we didn't do one, and then because of the holidays and stuff. So
New Year's Eve party.
So New Year's
We've been
Eve
absolutely
party, yeah.
hammered twice
Yes.
in the
Since
time
then.
period
Yeah.
since the
Damn
last
it.
podcast.
Damn
So
it.
we've had some.
Wait,
No,
solid
I'd call it
were
one
you?
and a half.
You weren't. Yeah.
No, I'd
Yeah,
call it
we
one
weren't
and a half
absolutely
times.
hammered on Saturday.
Yeah,
Yours
Coach's party was much
Yeah,
better.
that was tame.
It was tame.
It was
compared
fun.
was a good time, though.
Yeah.
So then we had a coaches party, but we finished up our Live to Lift season. We found out who the champions are. We found out which gym is taking home the trophies, and whose name is going up on the walls, as well as who's going up on the trophies. So without further ado, we'll just go right into that. So huge shout out for everyone for putting as much effort in. This was one of my favorite seasons, like out of
I think
8
it always
years.
is.
Right, but out
Or
of 8 years, I think this was one of the the season that stood out to me the most in effort and everyone getting stronger and showing
caring that they're getting
Right,
stronger.
yeah.
Yeah.
and doing. I think this was the first season that we had the app with like your weights and what weights you should be doing as a percentage of what your max is. So knowing what your max is preseason, and being able to do that, we're going to continue that on all of our strength seasons. But then we're also probably going to throw it on the back of our lifting cards so that you can kind of just highlight where you should be at what rep range, all that kind of good stuff. So you'll know right there in front of you instead of pulling up the app, because a lot of people would pull up the app, write down what they should be doing, but then nobody's carrying their cell phones for the
Or
session.
if you leave, you're like, I'm gonna go look at the app, and then you forget, and then
Right.
you don't do it again until your next session or whatever.
Yeah. So we'll have that as a tool. We'll have our lifting cards for this season picked up today, so we'll have those going as well. But for the overall champions, the gym that wins it for the women
Let's hear it.
was Waukee.
Woo!
So the way that we do our championship winners as far as who wins gym to gym is we take the top 10 and we average them out. So the average for the women at Waukee was 648.1 pounds. the average for the women over at West Des Moines was 550 pounds. So the women take it home, I think, for the second time in a row.
Oh, second time.
Third time in a row. Have you had it over there for a little bit?
Let me count.
Oh, that one's the men's.
Oh, this is the men's. I didn't even bother bringing the women's trophy. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, I'd
So-
say 3 at least.
It's been a lot.
the women have been crushing it. So that's a challenge.
We got some freaks over there, like
Yeah.
in a good way.
That's a challenge.
But we got some freaks.
Challenge to
Well, what hurt
To
West
West
Des
Des Moines.
Moines too, because Brittany Michaels came over, Sammy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
did
we
have-
have been doing
had
some. We've been doing some
transfers,
recruiting.
too.
I was gonna
The
say
transfer portal.
We're paying them a lot of money. They
helping
didn't tell
us
you,
out,
did they?
yeah.
No, yeah.
We're paying
And
them.
NIL
Paying
deals
them the
going
big
on.
bucks.
There's been tampering going on in
Yeah,
Waukee.
so that's two of the top two. That's the top two lifters I think we have, right? Or did we have
no.
another?
Well, did we announce top people yet?
We have it. It's on the app
Big.
if you want to.
This is a big surprise. Brittany Michael got the high score.
Yes.
Shocking, I
She's
know.
so freaking strong. That woman.
But yeah, so I think Brittany got number 1. I think Sammy was like 3rd or 4th. I
Third,
want to say.
okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean,
So those
that's
are two.
I will never forget.
OG West Des Moines athletes.
Yeah.
Last year, Brittany Michael broke her toe,
Yeah.
and she
this
was in
insane.
maxing out on a deadlift or something. I'm like, what in the?
And she still won.
She
the season.
deadlifted like 300 pounds on like a broken foot. It was just
That's-
insane.
It's crazy.
That's an athlete.
That's-
That is
Yeah.
an
like
athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's
It was
just got
nuts.
it in her. She's strong.
Yeah. So the winner, she had Brittany Michael 816-pound total.
Nice.
And then the leader over at West Des Moines was Lydia at 620-pound.
Hey.
Nice job, Lydia.
And
job.
Thanks.
yes, and then so that takes care of the women, and the men was also Waukee this time around.
Let's
so
go.
The
What?
men
Let's go.
over at Waukee had an average total for the top 10 at 1,058 pounds. 0.4. And the men over at West Des Moines had 982.7 pound average. So huge shout out to Waukee men overall. Won that with the winner, the overall winner over at Waukee being Dan Holes at
Nice.
1,199 pounds. And then the winner over at West Des Moines was Fee Dang at 1,130 pounds. So we had, I think Waukee had 6 guys in the 1,000-pound club.
Sounds about right, yeah.
West Des Moines, I think, had 4 guys in the 1,000-pound club. So huge shout out to all the big weights being moved over there.
Let's just shout Fee out too, because I feel like Fee could squat like an extra 100 pounds if he didn't like touch his ass to the floor.
That's
every
true.
rep, too.
Seriously.
Yeah. He
Fee's
goes
like
he
sacrificing
goes
weight
two
to
parallel and then down to about a 30-degree from parallel, even farther down to ass to grass, and then pops back up. So
Yeah.
yeah, if he was doing strict like powerlifting rules where he just stopped at the 90 degrees where it's it's required, then he would pop back up, probably add another 100 pounds to his total.
That's
but
crazy.
but yeah,
I don't know. I
he's
think we
he's
need
one of
some
those guys.
video evidence of Waukee. I don't know.
I agree.
I
would.
agree. We'll get that.
We can
all-
test those guys out. We can
Right,
get some
there you
video
go.
evidence out. Yeah.
Yeah, so the totals, the trophies are all going to Waukee, so congratulations to Waukee. Another challenge for the West Des Moines men as well as women to bring it home. I think, anything else about last season? Do we want to recap?
Mm-mm.
It was
Okay.
awesome. It was a
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
season.
That's a great.
That's my favorite season, like every year, always.
Yeah.
But I agree. This year or this time around in this season, like people were busting their ass in the max outs.
It was also the first season that both locations were like at full capacity.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
the previous years, obviously, a new location like Waukee grows, and so like it took Waukee, when they had 15 members in the first year, is not going to compete
Right.
against a full West Des Moines location. So I think that this year was the first time that this season was both locations were at the same numbers,
Yeah.
had the same competitiveness, had the same overall numbers to pull from when it comes to athletes performing. And so now the competitiveness is a lot more fun than when it was the first year or two of like Waukee just being at a disadvantage when you have half the numbers
Right.
that a different location has. So so those are the final for that. I will say that the early challenges are in, and West Des Moines seems to have the most agility prone athletes. So it seems that
We're just
We'll
saving
step it
it.
up. Yeah, we're just saving
Yeah.
for the last
Okay.
week.
We're gonna give your
That's
guys'
fine.
hopes up
Yep.
for
that's fine.
a few weeks here.
But yeah, so that transitions us into Make a Move, that we are in a new season, agility season right now. So you guys have been in a week and a half now of what is today? Tuesday. So 2 weeks.
Week and a
2
few,
weeks
no,
in?
Week and a couple days.
Week and a
Week and
couple
a day.
days. Mm-hmm.
So you've already got your Make a Move season kind of acclimated. If you've been in the gym, you've seen the difference, the higher pace, the 30-30s that you're hitting, the HIIT training. You've also found out that agility training has a lot more plyometrics, and so we've had a lot more jumping than we have seen in the previous season. So it's funny because we go from what we kind of told everybody about last season, Live to Lift, being one of the slower paced seasons, and then now we get into one of the fastest paced seasons, and so it's a quick transition, and I think that a lot of people felt that week one.
Yeah, very
yeah.
much. Yeah, extremely.
The challenge.
Oh,
I
yeah.
surprised a lot of people, I think, having the challenge.
Well, that was
on
kind of the
first
fun
or
thing this
second
year
day.
was like nobody knew that we were
But
switching that to
It's
day
weird
one.
because you
so.
get done with the strength season, you feel strong, you feel like, okay, I've got this, and then you just go in, and now you can't jump on a 12-inch box, and people are looking around like, is this a joke?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I should
Yeah.
be able to jump on it.
yeah.
It's
Right.
Just-
It was funny because
A shock to the system.
challenge sneaks up on you. So the rabbit challenge is the challenge that we're doing. So you know that it's a lot of hops. If you weren't there week 1, we'll have week 5 and then week 9 ready for those challenges. So you can test your agility and see where you're at time wise. But it's funny because you get through the first set of that and everyone was fine. You get through set 2 and everyone, people are starting to get a little bit winded and their muscles aren't working as good. So the last couple jumps on the boxes is getting more difficult. You get into round 3 with that challenge, and all of a sudden you jump up to that 12-inch box that was easy, 30 seconds ago, and you're like, holy shit, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm hitting my toes on the box.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
whole different
Right.
ball game when you get into that third round. But everybody did great. I think that it gives people. That's the other thing too, is the second time we're running the challenges a little bit different now. Instead of doing them trickling every week, we're doing a solid beginning, middle, and end. And so in the middle, everybody's going to see that, oh shit, okay, the training that I have been doing during the agility season has significantly helped me get through these 3 rounds of this challenge, and I'm not feeling it in the third round as much as I
better,
did.
right.
Exactly. And so that's kind of the benefit of seeing your challenges beginning, middle, and end as you go. So
I think we call it testing day now,
we do.
right?
Yeah.
Have we ever
Testing.
said that?
I
Oh.
think we're going to change that this season. Testing day.
Well, they're all challenged.
People
on
like
the-
being
on the
tested. People
app.
don't like being challenged.
Mm-hmm. It's a real
Oh.
thing.
I'm in that. So should we change the app to the rabbit test? And the strong like bull test
Yep.
instead of
It's
challenge?
funny to me because when I brought this up and on day 1 we used to not do challenge testing on day 1, so we'd do the full week 1 and then we'd start on the first day of week 2.
Yeah.
So this year with it being changed up and we're doing it on the very first day of the season, people are coming in and they're like, and I was like, oh, it's challenge day, and they're like, oh, good one, and I'm like, no, like seriously, it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like setting it up, and they're like, oh, you're like really committing to like, and I'm like, no, like we're doing this.
This is a solid bit.
And everyone's like, why are we doing it today? I'm like, this is your guys' fault for complaining so much that we changed it to this way. I'm like,
Right.
you guys have no one to blame but yourselves. And everyone's like, oh, we don't complain. Like, who's complaining? I'm like, everyone.
Right.
You're all complaining.
That's hilarious. But yeah, that's
Well, I think that they understood it then when they were like, okay, this 1 week we're doing it Monday, Tuesday, and
Yeah.
then in 5 weeks we'll do it on Wednesday, Thursday.
I do like it
whatever.
this way because we're able to kind of see some people are hitting it like every week, so you're not seeing a huge
Right.
like
Improvement,
drastic
right.
improvement just from week to week, just with the nature of the way it is.
Yeah.
So I think doing it 1 week and then not doing it again for another 4 weeks, you'll see a bigger.
It's definitely ensuring
Right.
that. So if you're able to, like, scheduling wise, it's always difficult because you can't tell someone that you have to be here, here, and here. You can't be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4:30. Most people fall into those categories, but you can't just say you're forced to do this or you're not in this session, right? So with people's schedules, a lot of people were falling accidentally on, a perfect schedule for us would be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because that's how we or a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, that's how we build the training sessions. So if someone would happen to be a Monday 1 week and then a Tuesday the next week and then fall on a Wednesday the following week, they would get a challenge 3 weeks in a row. And so that's kind of what we want to avoid now. And we realize that some people, if you're getting a challenge 3 weeks in a row, that's not the purpose of why we do the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose is to see your progress. And if you're doing it over and over and over, just like maxing out, just like anything, you don't want to max out every week. The max outs isn't where you make your gains. The workouts in between is where you make your gains. And then you can, the testing or the challenge or whatever we're calling it, is just a way to see your results and see your scores. So with that being said, week 5, Wednesday, Thursday, and then week 9 will be Friday, Saturday for our testing /
And then we'll
challenge
already be
/
into a
whatever
new
we call
strength
it.
season.
And it's already a new strength season.
Which is
so it's gonna
crazy
be crazy
to think about.
Yeah. So if you've been there, if you haven't been there yet, get your ass back to the gym and get into agility season. We have a quicker clock, so we're going 30-30s, which is that HIIT style training. So a lot of times you're doing a plyo movement and you're doing something else, so you're going back and forth with these. The big thing that we want to emphasize this season, being agility season, is make sure that you're either going 100% or you're going 0%. You're resting. Because agility is all about speed and all about quickness. And if you're just going 50%, if you're super tired and you can only go 20%, what that does is it takes away that type of training, that now you're just training calorie burn and endurance more than what you would be training the purpose of the season, which is agility. So what you need to do in this season in particular is go as hard as you can until you can't go 100% anymore, and then shut it down until you can go 100% again. So all of us coaches would much rather you be doing nothing, resting, and then going 100% through a ladder or through a box jump or whatever the case might be, and then rest again. Walk on the way back versus jogging on the way back and then going 50% through the ladder. Go 100% as fast as you can through the ladder, walk back. That's where you're going to get that rest in, and then you can work on your speed and your footwork and all that kind of stuff as fast as you can do it versus the endurance-based cardio that is a slower pace than what we're trying
And
to
I think
get
this
up
season it's hard to get your body there though. Like, or
It
your
is.
Oh, yeah.
mindset. I think it's more of a mindset thing, right? Your body can do it, but then
100%.
you're like, wait a minute, like this is hard. Like it's
Yeah.
hard, but it's getting out of that comfort zone to be like, okay, I got to push as hard as I can.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot of questions too. It's like, well, if I'm resting and I feel like I'm only doing half the work, but like if you're only
Right.
going 50% for both of them, then it's like
Right.
You're doing the same amount of work. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But like the point of the season is to work hard, go as fast as you can, working on speed, working on quickness, not working on being average and being okay, I'm just going to go in a little walk or a jog or something like that. It's working hard and like working your ass off for a purpose.
Right.
And we have another, like our endurance season, the Heart and Hustle.
Right.
That's for that
Yeah.
steady state 50% or, easy steady state pace that we want people to be at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just there's a big difference in what your body does to acclimate to those different movements. Just like a marathon runner is different than a sprinter, they train differently. They have different muscle groups, so or muscle types and all of that kind of stuff. And so to be able to train both of those is what makes us a balanced athlete and what makes us be able to adapt to all sorts of different training. And that's why we do some of these different things. So that's the main purpose of agility training.
Like this season is like go out and beat your friends in like a 50-yard dash.
Right.
The endurance season is to be able to go out and beat your friends in a 5K.
Yep.
You know, it's
exactly.
like the differentiation of those. It's like, think of it that way as like, okay, quick, speed.
Yep. Exactly. And working on, power through a movement as well. So like when we're doing some of our box jumps, we would much rather you add 12 inches. So now you're jumping 24 inches and you're jumping all the way up versus doing the 12-inch and doing it the entire time. Maybe you only get 6 reps at the 24-inch, but that's what we're after versus the lower box that you can hit over and over and over and over and over. That's not as much of a power increase for you. So that's kind of what we're working at. The strength is every minute on the minute this season, so it's a quicker strength. So make sure you're ready for that. Make sure that you're getting those reps in as much as you can, and then once the whistle blows again, you're ready to go. So
10 to 12 reps.
Yep. So
that first workout, the chest workout.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I thought like, okay, my bench was pretty good, and then I went in to do the third set. I'm like, my arms wouldn't even work.
And then
what
all
is
the push-ups
happening? I
and,
thought.
Yes.
It's like I thought I was stronger than this. But
Yes.
it's
Yeah,
funny how your body.
that's the weird thing is like you go into strength and you're like, yeah, I move a bunch of weight, and then you go into this season, you're like, I just like dropped like 100 pounds. Like, where did it go?
Like I don't even want a lifting card.
and I'm
I'm
still
really
failing.
so sad
Yeah.
to see. Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, so that's kind of a preview and an update for this season. We are working with ARL this season, so we have a bunch of events that we will be doing with them. We will be doing a Krave in the house where we go. Have we gotten that date?
Not yet. We're finalizing.
We're finalizing those dates. So we will have that updated for everybody. We are basically going to ARL headquarters and helping volunteer there. So if you have time when we finalize that, join the team doing that. What else do we have? We have
the holiday party.
Party this Thursday, which is 2 days away.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, hopefully I'll get this out, but it will be Thursday the 12th. So the holiday party is there. We also have a pet selfie challenge for everybody. So if you have a pet selfie, or if you have a pet or a friend's pet, or you find a squirrel on the street, whatever animal that you can take, you have to use agility to catch the squirrel.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Chase it around a tree and grab it and take a picture. Grab that selfie, post hashtag Krave Gym ARL. And then at Krave Gym, so that we can give everybody credit for that. Krave Gym will donate a pound of food per every selfie this entire season. So get those going. That's always fun to see so many pets and everybody have their selfies putting up. And so I haven't seen a ton yet this year. So we got to get those
No,
going.
because I kind of failed to start promoting it. So I got to get on that.
Okay.
Got to get on that.
Nobody knows to do it yet.
Nobody knows to do it.
Do it. And then we'll have to get ours. We haven't done ours yet either. So we'll have to get our selfies out there. Dan, do you guys have any pets?
We do not.
No? You're going to have to come over to our house and take
Right.
There we
a
go.
Knox and Baxter picture as well. But that is our power partner for the season. So any other updates for the season?
I don't think so.
Awesome.
No, I think.
Excited to have another awesome season. We have, agility here for the next 2 months. Then we have another strength season. So we're going to get after it, get as agile as possible, get in the best shape as far as your HIIT training, and then get back into getting strong again. So not that you lose it while you're
Right. You just don't feel as strong.
You just don't feel as
That's not the
strong because
focus.
you're doing a lot more reps and at a higher speed. So, yeah, that is all we got for you today. Anything else?
Nope. I'm
Nope.
good.
No, I'm
Nothing.
good.
Awesome. Zach had to dip out. He had a session that he had to go get into, but that's all for today. Remember, you're an athlete. Live like it.
Born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.